Dipty's talking with French lawmakers, beginning discussing the ratifying the CETA free trade deal, carrying on with business to a certain extent here, aren't we?
That's right. It's dominating a lot of the French papers today. French lawmakers will begin discussing a bill around ratifying the free trade deal between Europe and Canada, the CETA free trade deal. It comes on the back of the EU signing of a similar Mercosur free trade deal with 4 Latin American countries, Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay and Paraguay. Who will benefit from this business? That's what La Croix, the Catholic paper, is wondering on its front page. Indeed, who stands to benefit from these deals is a big question. La Croix reminding us that those who defend the free trade deal say it will allow Europe to counter the, quote, hegemonic aspirations of Beijing and Washington. There's also an Argentinian paper, La Prensa, which defends the agreement, noting that it will help, at least for Argentina, reverse a process of 7 decades of decline. The writer calling the deal an opportunity for Argentina to bring itself out of economic isolation.
The farmers and ecologists, though, amongst the main opponents to this deal.
And it's something that the communist paper L'Humanité is dealing with or looking at. Ian Brossat, who was on the head of the French communist list for the European elections, has said the deal poses a serious question about whether Europe's future involves bringing meat over oceans. I'm quoting there. Another group has also has called it a fatal blow to food sovereignty, notably that of French farmers. Meanwhile, one Guardian writer notes that while the Mercosur trade deal is a boom for Brazilian beef and its industry, it is devastating for the rainforest and the environment. The writer accusing EU leaders of having, quote, thrown the Amazon rainforest under a Volkswagen bus in a massive cows for cars trade deal.
Going to carry on talking about the Amazon forest, in fact, because The Guardian is also reporting on alarming levels of deforestation there.
That's right. Between August 2017 and July 2018, so just about a year, nearly 8,000 square kilometers of the Amazon rainforest was cleared, according to new data. This has sharply increased under President Jair Bolsonaro, with some reports saying that the Amazon forest is losing a football pitch-sized area of trees every minute. This all happening because of Brazil's booming beef industry. At the helm of that beef industry is a company called AgroSB. It's described as a powerful farming empire that's been accused of, among other things, illegal deforestation, the enslavement of workers, and even spraying a community occupying its land with pesticides, which it has denied.
And from Brazil's deforestation to India's water crisis, the southern city of Chennai facing the prospect of actually running out of water soon.
That's right. They've been going through a severe drought for the past 2 years. It's sparked protests by locals over these declining water resources, and essentially the drought has dried up the reservoir in the city. You can see the Puzal reservoir here. This was just in the space of 1 year, and it's almost completely dried up. This, of course, as global temperatures rise in India, particularly, urbanization is increasing and the population is growing. So water is fast becoming a rare commodity for Chennai locals. Chennai is home to 9 million people as well. It's affected businesses, schools, hospitals, and hotels. And one expert in this article says if there's not enough rain this year, Chennai will actually become an unlivable city. They say it's also a man-made crisis, blaming a lack of political action and political will, and also public ignorance over water-saving techniques. While Chennai is praying for the rains, another city in India, Mumbai, on the west coast, has been inundated, Stuart, with deadly floods that have killed dozens of people. It's what Gulf News is calling a deluge and a drought, a study in contrasts.
Yeah, sad to see those two pictures at the same time. Now, finally, a video released by the French presidency of Ivanka Trump trying to kind of mingle with leaders at the G20. It sparked quite a lot of derision. Continues this on Twitter, doesn't it?
That's right. Somebody had the hilarious idea of taking up a picture of Ivanka and planting her in different historical situations. Here she is. Yeah, I mean,
Who needs a helmet? Yeah.
There's much to be said about Ivanka Trump trying to prove her chops in the world of diplomacy. She seems so out of place in the G20 summit, and I think that's what a lot of Twitter users are doing. Here she's walking on the moon in 1969. She also landed on the Normandy beaches during the D-Day landing. There she is, 75
definitely
years ago.
Yeah.
She accompanied U.S. troops to Iwo Jima and helped plant the flag there. There's a picture of her also cuddling up to John Lennon and Yoko Ono there. My favorite, she also appeared on the lineup of the usual suspects. I want to say poor Ivanka, but clearly when she's only there because of her dad's connections, it's hard to feel sorry for her.
Very nice. Well done, Ivanka. Thanks a lot, Tipsy. Tipsy with the paper.